I've been working with fearful dogs for 12 years, and I've come up with a few basic tips that can help you make a fearful dog feel at ease. Number one is stop talking and concentrate on what the dog is telling you. A fearful dog is being talked to. They don't understand what you're saying, and it's very unnatural for them to listen to all the talking. I find I do best listening to a dog and communicating with a dog if I don't talk as much and I concentrate on what the dog is doing in accordance with what I'm doing. Number two, do not make direct eye contact. Direct eye contact is a threat to dogs. Until they understand humans and feel comfortable with you, avoid looking at them directly in the eye. From the kitchen to Hawkeye, and watch Hawkeye, and all I'm doing is walking up to him and looking at him. See right there? That's telling me he's uncomfortable. This dog has lived with me for 1.5 years, and because of his past, 3 feet with me approaching him sideways is about all he can take. So if I'm going to go up to him and let's say pet him while he's on his bed, I come this way, I'm looking away from the dog. I'm not looking at the dog. I'm looking this way. And I'm going to come up, squat down next to him, and pat him like this. Number 3 is do not walk directly towards a dog. Walking directly towards a dog is a threat and is scary for a dog. Walk towards a new dog or fearful dog at an angle and without making direct eye contact. Okay, so we got a scared little dog here, and I want to show the difference between approaching the right way and the way that will scare him. So if I approach him head on like this and I go to put my hand out, he backs up and he tucks his tail, he's starting to shake, right? So if I keep trying, this little guy will bite me. So how I'm going to approach him is I walk up sideways and backwards. And if I want to, I could bend down, just let him sniff me, but I'm not going to reach for him. And you see he's much more comfortable. He doesn't run away. I just wanted to demonstrate this approach one more time. So I'm walking up in Hawkeye's direction, but I'm looking at that corner over there. Then I'm going to come up, put my back to him, and turn this way. Good boy. Good job. It's different if you come up and turn this way, because then you're turning over the dog. So I always, now no one's perfect and I forget this sometimes, but especially when I first get a fearful dog, I want to be very aware of little things like this. So if you turn this way and I'm looking out this way, usually the dog's more comfortable with that. And I use this technique to get a leash on the dog, or anytime to set a food bowl down. Anytime I need to approach a dog, I'm going to use this technique. And then maybe in another 2 months, I might face him more directly like this, right? But I'm still not looking at his eyes. It's really the eye contact that tends to send these dogs, especially from the case he came from, over the edge. It's very intimidating for them. And dogs usually don't look at each other in the eyes directly when they approach each other either. It's really a human thing that we do to dogs. And most dogs that are in normal homes and aren't mistreated accept it as that's just the way we are and learn that it's no big deal. But dogs that have been mistreated or had hard lives or something like that, they're especially sensitive to the eye contact. Number 4, do not reach over a dog. Reaching over a dog is scary to the dog. It works better if you squat down and pet the dog under the chin or attach a leash from a squatting or lowered position instead of reaching over the dog. I have my phone at about a medium to large dog's head height. As you can see, Chardonnay is a medium to large dog, and it's about at her eye level. When people come up to meet dogs like Chardonnay at adoption events, they do what we were always taught as kids, and that is to stick your hand out so the dog can sniff your hand. All right, so if you're a small dog, this is even more exaggerated. So a lot of people even make a fist like this to let the dog smell their hand. And as you can see by this video, it's not exactly a friendly looking gesture, even to humans. To dogs who maybe haven't been exposed to lots of people or an adoption event, it can be very scary. So what I recommend, so I would just come up and face Chardonnay sideways like this and let her get to know me by just standing here and really kind of ignoring her for a few minutes. If she sees comfortable with me, then I might reach down and scratch her on her cheek or maybe under her chin. Okay, the best way to first approach a dog is not by going over their head. If the dog seems comfortable, you can also squat down to see if they're interested in you and to get to know them. If I go up to Marco and I'm trying to say hi to him like this, he's going to move away from me. But if I squat down and say hi to him like this, he's going to come towards me. So when you're working with dogs like this, try and be very observant of what you're doing and how it affects them. So when I stand up, this is how sensitive he is, right? So I can just move a little bit and he moves out of the way. So with him, I have to be very cognizant of how I'm approaching him so he doesn't feel afraid of me. But a lot of times if you go up to a dog, his little tail went down. So if you're non-confrontational to the dog, he's going to have a much better experience. 5, move slowly but confidently. Slow movements are less likely to scare a dog, but if you're nervous, a dog won't trust you. Remember, your state of mind must match your actions, or the dog will know there is a disconnect and not trust you as much. Chardonnay and I just got back from PetSmart, and a well-meaning employee there came up to her, and I've had this happen on a couple occasions, and the people that do this are usually men. Sorry, men, but I'm not sure what it is about you that makes you want to go up to dogs and go, "Oh, hi, puppy, hi," and like start like batting them on the face like this with a dog that you don't know. And then you wiggle your fingers in front of their face, and then when they get scared by seeing this coming at them, you don't understand, and you keep doing it until I have to say, "I'm sorry, would you please stop waving your hands around? It's making her uncomfortable." If you guys are out there and you greet dogs, be calm. Don't be excited. Don't make yourself prey or some kind of scary object. If you want to meet Chardonnay, she's happy to meet people. All you have to do is stand still, let her come up and sniff you, and then you can scratch her under the chin a little bit. And she will enjoy that, and it will give her a better impression of strangers if they're not coming up and doing this. to her. Leash. So this is achieving a few things. It's getting her used to the leash as a positive, right? Sticking your head through it as a positive. Get up, deep. And then I'm gonna touch. Good girl, Titi. Number 6, do not try to trick a dog. Do not try to trick a dog by having food and then trying to catch the dog. Get the dog to trust you so you don't have to trick them to catch them or put a leash on them. He thinks this is awesome. Wafer, come. Good boy. So you see how he darts away real quick afterwards? So this is why you can't trick dogs, right? If you try to lure them with food and then catch them, they're going to catch on pretty quick and they're going to want to run away after they get the food. So I'm not going to touch him when he comes to me. Come. Good boy. See, he's starting to trust me a little more, that I'm not going to try and catch him. Wafer, come. Good boy. Wafer, come. Good boy. Number 7 is don't be weird. I see a lot of people just do weird things around dogs that scare them. Weirdness includes don't be loud, don't be overly animated, don't be too excited, don't be nervous, cautious, wear weird hats, carry umbrellas, wear backpacks, wear big reflective sunglasses, or other things dogs would see as strange. Once the dog gets to know you, you can start to integrate that stuff. But for now, keep all that stuff at bay. So don't be weird. So around holidays, a lot of people want to wear these Santa hats or maybe some little reindeer antlers, okay? Santa suit, etc., big blow-up reindeers. There was actually a boarding facility that had a huge blow-up reindeer in the lobby. This is not cool for fearful dogs. This is acting weird to them. They don't understand that we can change how we look in our profiles and our silhouettes, and then you add something that makes a weird noise when you walk or a weird floppy hat, and they just don't get it. So if you're dealing with a fearful dog, take all this stuff off. If you guys work at pet stores or something like that, I would advise not wearing this stuff because it scares the dogs. I know it might make the customers, the human customers, happy, but it may not make the canine customers happy. So the other day I went into the vet's office and I saw a new vet. My vet I usually go to is fantastic with the dogs. He's totally at ease. He's not nervous of them. He sits on the floor and he just gives them time. But this new vet was probably a little bit nervous of my dogs. And the thing that really got my dogs was that, well, first of all, she comes in wearing a Santa hat, right? So she's already looking strange. And because of COVID, we have masks over our faces. But it was more her mannerisms more than anything else that made her so off-putting to the dogs. And she came in and she didn't trust the dogs. And she was trying to move real slow, but at the same time, she was like nervous. So she was kind of moving towards them, but at the same time, like suspicious of the dogs. If you're acting that way, the dog's not going to trust you. So that's the main thing. Just don't be weird. Right, guys? Yeah, dogs. Oh. Number 8, respect the dog's comfort level. Trust is built when you show the dog you understand him or her and give them time to adjust to you and their new surroundings. I don't know if you guys can see, but this little dog is shaking here. Poor pup. So yesterday this dog was actively like trying to get away from me. And now she's actually okay next to me. So how did I achieve this? What magic did I do to make this dog be okay with me? And the answer is pretty much nothing. So this is the step people miss. They want to rush the relationship, and they don't just let the dog be and get used to them before they try to touch the dog or, associate with the dog. So the other things I've done is she's introduced to my dogs. She's hung out with my dogs in the house, and we went for a walk this morning. And the whole time I basically, cared for her, but I didn't try to pet her or anything like that. Number 9, do not try to chase or catch a dog. If your dog runs from you, use a leash to teach a different behavior and work on come. I do the same thing if I want to grab his leash. I'm not going to come and grab it like this. I'm going to come and face him this way, pick up the leash, and then walk. Have all of the dogs drag around a leash for, I don't know, a couple days to 2 weeks, it depends, because if I need to get her, she's not going to come to me right now. And what I'll do to get her is walk up sideways to her and just put my foot on the leash, and then I bend down and pick up the leash. Right? I really try not to run and have to grab the leash because that just scares the dog. So I try to use my foot. Right, Olive? Foot? She's not so worried. Right? If I was to do this, yeah, she gets really worried. So, again, a little tip that makes a big difference to the dog. This is an example of what happens if you chase a dog. You see he's running away from me even though he knows me. Versus when I run the other way, he immediately comes back to me. Good boy! Good boy! Now, alright, so I'm working with Wafer on coming when called. Come. And so when I did this the first time, he grabbed the food and ran away real quick. So it's important not to try and catch him when we're doing this, because then you're tricking him and it will go against building trust. Come. Wafer, come. I'm using tiny pieces of ham. So, good boy. Come. Come. So it's important after he comes, come. He can back up a little. I don't want him to practice like running away and then running back. So that's why I'm using the leash, so I can stop him from running away if he does that. 10. Act like a dog. Yep, that's right. It sounds silly, but it works. Once the dog trusts you, you can gradually act more human. Brown dog? Yeah. Mexico brown dog. her she's starting to use her nose a lot more. So I'm actually going to let her just do this. Now I'm not going to let her get into trouble, you know, like run in the street or run up to other dogs or anything like this. Good girl, Juno. So you can hear the little box here that she was a little scared of. Juno, come here. So we're going to come up. Check it out, Juno. Hey, Juno. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. There. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope these tips help you and your fearful dog.